Thanks, Brianne. With me is Drake Carroll from the South Carolina Forestry Commission, here to tell us a little bit about Firewise. So what exactly is Firewise?
Well, Firewise is a national program that they started up to, on the large scale, just educate the general public across the nation about making their home less susceptible. And then on the more focused, you can actually become what's considered a Firewise USA community, where you actually get recognized for doing some things and, participating in program. And we actually have 30 of those in South Carolina.
Wow, that's exciting news. So not only something an individual can do, but also an entire community can do.
That's correct, yes.
And you brought a model with you so we can kind of illustrate some of the points in Firewise?
Exactly. Typically this is kind of what you'd see in most rural and urban areas around South Carolina. As you can see here, we have a home that has a lot of vulnerable areas.
Okay.
Typically from an ember storm, your most vulnerable area is going to be your roof. So of course, you can look at most roofs as you drive down the road or look throughout your neighborhood, and you'll see that they actually gather a lot of litter, which is then in turn in the wildfire aspect considered fuel.
Sure.
So,
now, when you say litter, we're not talking about like plastic bottles and wrappers.
No.
We're talking about leaf litter, pine straw.
Leaf litter, pine straw. Pine straw is number one, pretty much. It's going to get in your valleys, and especially if this home, like most, had gutters, that's a very vulnerable area as well.
So you got to get up there and clean those gutters out?
That's right. That's one of the main things you can do. Okay.
Now, what are some other vulnerable areas? It looks like we have firewood stacked up right close to the house?
Yes, a lot of people do that, and it's very convenient, to run out on your porch and grab your firewood to add another log to the fire, but it actually can cause a problem in the event of a wildfire because embers can get in between those logs, and of course if it's dried out, ready for the fireplace, it's ready for embers as well.
So instead of keeping them right close, we might need to move them out a ways?
Yes, we recommend, especially your larger debris and stuff like that, to keep about 20 feet away from your home, just because in the event that they do ignite, they'll generate typically a lot more radiant heat, which could in turn cause damage to your home.
All right, and we can think of this as some extra exercise, right? Because we all need more exercise.
Exactly, we could all use a little more of that.
And there's also, I can't see it from here, but I saw it earlier, a grill on the porch?
Yes, there is a grill there, and really that's, more of a personal thing. A lot of people do like to have their grill under there because it stays dry, real convenient, just like the firewood. But we do recommend, if you are going to grill, to move it out from under the, let me see, I'm grabbing it here. Yeah.
You reach?
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. To actually move it away from the home so that you don't cause that damage, as well as whenever you're grilling, if you're underneath the roof, it'll cause convection heat to actually cause damage up underneath your roof.
And then if we move down toward the steps.
Yep, down towards the steps, we got a lot of your landscaping material, and a lot of people have highly flammable vegetation there, such as your wax myrtles, a lot of Leland cypresses, of course, planted next to your edges. May look good, but then if that does ignite, it's right near the home, and these kind of bushes do give off a lot of radiant heat, which could damage the home and even ignite the home.
I had no idea that wax myrtle was so flammable. It's one of my favorites because it's a South Carolina native. So maybe we want to just keep them further away or keep them trimmed up?
Yes, we do recommend moving them, like right here. 15 feet away from the home, but then also if you can't move them and you do want to keep them there if they're already established, then you can prune from the bottom to create a little bit of space from the ground level to those actual live branches, which would ignite and in turn cause the fire.
Okay, and are there some screens on the steps?
Yes, as you can tell, without the bushes here, of course, this would be a very vulnerable area up underneath porches and wooden stairs for leaf litter, pine straw, things like that to collect. So that's going to stay drier than if it was out even in the yard, because it will not get the same rain amount. So in the event of a wildfire, embers would come in and actually blow up under there just like the litter does on a daily occasion, and actually ignite a fire underneath your porch.
Oh goodness, that would not be good.
No, it would not.
And while we're talking about leaf matter, that makes me think about mulch, and some mulches are more flammable than others. So what's the best choice?
Well, I know a lot of people do use pine straw. It's readily available and relatively cheap. but it is extremely ignitable, and whenever embers land on them, they pretty much instantaneously create a fire. So a better choice of that and still be on the natural side, of course, is going to be your hardwood mulch. It's going to be, you know, larger particles, take longer to ignite, things like that. And then if you want to go the, you know, foolproof, you can go to stone or crushed brick, things like that.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about the grill and moving it away, and also we can talk about the material that's used to cover the house. So vinyl siding is flammable?
Yes, vinyl siding is more susceptible to radiant heat, and then next would be your wood siding, things like that.
Okay.
So if you do want to further protect your home, you can get non-flammable masonry such as brick or stucco stone and install that. And
is it that easy?
It is not that easy. I wish it was that easy, but it's not. And then also back to the roof where it's most vulnerable, you can also use non-flammable such as aluminum. And again, it's not that easy, but you know.
So these are going to be some more pricier options.
Yes.
But so maybe you couldn't do it to your current home, but people could think about putting these strategies in place if they're building or purchasing a new home. And I think we have another piece we can cover the whole house.
Yeah,
Is it just?
It goes right there in front, just like this. So now, with this little addition, my porch is supposed to hold that up.
So maybe now we've moved our trees and shrubs away, we've pruned them down, we've got our grill safely away, our firewood is safely away, the propane tank even, we're kind of store it as far away as we can and still be accessible to the house. We've got our more resistant materials. So do we have a Firewise house?
Yes, this is a more Firewise home, and it will, you know, better protect your home. Again, nothing's 100%, but little steps that you can take in the Firewise concept is really just goes back to maintenance and really common sense things once you sit down and think about it.
Sure, and I understand you even offer assistance to homeowners that might have questions?
Yes, we do. They're able to contact us. We can come out, do individual home assessments as well as the community-wide thing to become part of Firewise.